I am so excited about this particular video because one of our icon agents at our company, Tony Schwartz, is going to be giving you a specific training on how to stay top of mind with relationship marketing so you can generate more leads from your database and close more sales. So if you're looking to really grow and expand your business, you want to double down on your database, your sphere of influence. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to type those into the comment section below. Bust out a pad and a pen because I know you're going to want to take a lot of notes if you are serious about growing your business through your relationship marketing. So I hope you enjoy the video.
Okay, good morning, everybody. We're at the top of the hour. We're going to start getting things rolling here in respect of your time. I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to go through a class with you today on relationship marketing. The goals of relationship marketing, number one is staying top of mind to increase your customer value and loyalty. Maintaining long-term customer engagement, increasing repeat and referral business from what I like to call your warm market, and we'll talk a little bit about that today. Creating ambassadors of your brand, a reduction in market spend, and I do believe that the stuff that I'm going to show you today is much less expensive than cold lead marketing and the time and energy that you will spend on doing that. We are creating heartfelt referrals, which is super important, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that when we get to it. And then being known as an industry expert is very, very important, and we'll talk a little bit about how you do that. So how do we accomplish these goals? We're building contacts via networking, volunteering, social media interaction, and some small targeted mailings, and we're going to stay consistent with them. And again, I'll show you how I do that. We're going to regularly and purposely be reaching out to clients, prospects, sphere of influence, family, and friends. And we are going to categorize those different levels of people and client and how we want to reach out to them. And we're going to be very disciplined and committed in doing this every day. And we'll talk about that as well. You need to have some systems in place or some processes in place that are duplicatable, especially if you are training other agents on how to be successful in this business. I'm a huge believer in things need to be personal, and I'll show you what I'm talking about there, but you also have to have processes in place to make this stuff happen. You want to do personal interactions via social media, email, cards, and gifts. We'll go through that. Acknowledging special moments and times in your contacts' lives. I cannot emphasize enough that this is about them. It's not about us, and the stuff that we're going to send them is going to be personalized about them. We're going to solicit feedback on their experiences that they've had with you so that you can improve if need be and share if they're super excited. We're going to hold client events and build what I like to call a community, and we're going to create customer advocacy programs and referral programs, assuming that they are legal and you can do them within your market center and where you're at. Even just a thank you card, I think, is really, really important when you get a referral if you can't do anything else. Tools to accomplish our goals. The first thing we talk about is networking. I know with COVID, it's been a little more difficult, but you have to be out there networking, even if it's via Zoom or however you can do it. But you need to get engaged in some organizations. I always say you pick between 2 and 4, but usually 2 or 3 is probably the magic number if you really want to stay engaged. And those can be chambers, they can be churches, trade groups, clubs. If you're interested in skiing, if you're interested in surfing, if you're interested in whatever it is, book reading. Find some clubs that you are interested in. I'm a huge chamber networker. I actually started a chamber about 25 years ago that is still going strong, and I'm still on the board of directors of that. I sit on the board of directors for the largest chamber in our state, and just get super, super engaged in that way. But there's lots of other ways that you can do it too, but you have to be passionate about what you're doing. So whatever the organization is that you choose to get involved with, please make sure you want to be there, because if you don't, you're not going to continue to show up. And then that's the next bullet, is show up. You have to attend these things on a regular basis. You're trying to build relationships. You're trying to get people to know you on a first name basis. So not only do you need to show up, but then you need to follow up, and you need to make sure that you're taking advantage of the time that you are spending at these things by doing the proper follow-up, and we'll talk about that. The other tool you can use, obviously, is social media. tons of different ways to use social media. There's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, whatever else is out there now, and whatever comes in the future. I choose to focus on two of them, Facebook and LinkedIn. But whatever works for you, there are many ways to do social media and make it effective. However you're doing it, though, you want to find friends. You want to request people and lots of people to be part of your social media group. You want to post and reply every day. You want this to be part of your marketing campaign that is in your calendar and you're doing every single day. You want to post educational and acknowledgement. What I mean by that is educational articles, different things that's going on in real estate, posting your listings, posting your solds, letting people know that you are a professional in the industry. It can be blogs, it can be memes, it can be all kinds of stuff that are focused on what you do. I use a program called Keeping Current Matters. They do an auto blog for me that posts to my Facebook every morning, just because I don't have the time to create that, and it works. And so just having something there all the time is important. And then when I talk about acknowledgement, I'm talking about acknowledging other people in your social networks. Need to make sure that you're paying attention to what's going on in their lives. And we'll talk a little bit more about that here as we move forward. And then the other thing I highly recommend that you do is play what's called the green dot game. Now, these are, again, applicable to Facebook and LinkedIn, which are the two programs that I use. But I think the green dot game is kind of a fun little way to get results in what you're doing. So what that is basically when you go onto Facebook, you will see over at the right-hand side is going to be a list of people that typically are friends that you are connected with. And if there's a green dot next to their name, that means they're currently on the program. So what I do is I go in every day, and this is part of my schedule. It's in my calendar that I am going to do green dot. And I go in and I pick 3 to 5 people that are in that list that are green that I haven't talked to in a while or haven't had a connection with in a while. And I ask them a question. I message them while they're on Facebook. So I will message them right away, and typically I'm just asking questions. Hey, it's been a while. How are you doing? How are you and your family doing? You want to have it be about them, and you want it to be a question so that they are going to reply and respond and feel obligated to do that, and you're starting a conversation with them. Now, depending upon how that conversation goes, you can start going back and forth and back and forth. What have you been doing? Are you still working? You know, where are you working now? That type of stuff. And have them hopefully asking, what have you been doing? How's your real estate business? And you're getting this conversation going where they're remembering who you are and what you do. And then as you're going through that, if you can then get contact information, updated contact information from them as far as, you know, address, that kind of stuff that you might want to start putting them into your campaigns, that is a great way to do that. But I recommend that you do this, and if you do it while they're live, your percentage of response goes up dramatically. And you can do the same thing on LinkedIn. So they have the same thing over on the right-hand side where you'll see if somebody's live right now on LinkedIn. I will tell you that LinkedIn and Facebook are different from the standpoint that LinkedIn is much more business-oriented. So you're going to keep those conversations more business-focused. How are things going at work? How is your company doing? That kind of stuff, as opposed to Facebook, which is going to be how's the family doing? It's going to be more of a social thing. The other thing that I will recommend if you're going to play in these arenas, stay neutral. Do not get political. Do not get opinionated. Try to stay out of that realm, because at some point in time you are going to, without a doubt, offend somebody that you are connected with in these programs. So if you can at all keep this about business, keep it about personal stuff, that, you know, caring about what's going on in their lives, but not necessarily voicing opinions on stuff, it will serve you well. More tools to accomplish your goals. Cards and gifts, in my opinion, are the #1 thing that have made my business a literally 100% referral business. I do not do any cold lead marketing anymore. I am at 100% referral. I do get, you know, leads obviously in through KV Core when I boost a listing and stuff like that. But 95% of my business is repeat and referral. and I send cards and gifts, and I customize them for the client. I do it on a regular basis, so I'm sending birthday cards, anniversary cards. When I see that they posted something on Facebook that grandpa passed away, I'll send them a condolences card. And it sounds like a lot, but if you have the right systems in place, you can do it pretty easily. And one of the programs that I use is called Mailbox Power. Now, in full disclosure, I am an affiliate with Mailbox Power, and I actually am a trainer for Mailbox Power because I use it so much. But it is a program that I strongly believe in. But there are other ones out there. And if you go and Google greeting cards mailed, you will find a ton of programs. There's a program called Send Out Cards that I used to use many years ago. I found Mailbox Power to be more business focused and work better for me, and it's more cost effective. But there are programs out there that you can use, but I suggest you find something you're comfortable with and use it. And then send personal cards and gifts for special events, closings, birthdays, anniversaries. When you see that somebody had passed away, or a birth of a grandchild or a baby, a child, that kind of stuff. Milestones and accomplishments that are happening in their lives. And again, I cannot emphasize enough, this is about them. This isn't about you. This doesn't have your logo on it. It doesn't have your call me or who do you know that needs a realtor today. That's not what this is about. This is about reaching out to them. And I'm telling you, it'll pay dividends. And then you set up campaigns that will automate this process, and I'll show you how we do that. And then you want to customize your address book. And I talked a little bit about that earlier, but you want to have groups of people where you can do mailings to a specific group. You're also going to do different types of mailings depending upon if they're a past client or they're a prospect or a sphere of influence or a family member. So you want to use that and group people in those ways. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Over on the left-hand side are just some of the groups that I have set up. So you kind of see that I have birthday brownie, I have birthday card, and then I also have now a birthday postcard. And basically what that is different levels of birthday cards that I want to send out. So if I have a past client or a family member or a very close friend, they're going to get the birthday card with a brownie. If it's somebody that I think is a great prospect and I really want to have some influence with, I'm going to send them a birthday card. And then if it's kind of just that sphere of influence person, I met them at a couple of networking groups, I'm going to send them a birthday postcard. And again, it's all about the investment that you're making and what you're sending out, because if you do a ton of this stuff, it can get to be a little bit expensive. And then I have family, I have holiday card groups for clients, family, friends, all that kind of stuff. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about here is you're going to set these groups up based on how you want to communicate with them. So like I have a Ditch the Basket campaign, which is literally a 3-year quarterly mailing campaign that goes out to people. I have birthday brownies that go out. And so again, these birthday campaigns are automated. So I put in their month and day of their birthday, and they're automatically going to get that birthday card every year. All I have to do is go in the beginning of the year and change the card out every year so they're not getting the same card. But there's all different kinds of campaigns that you can do, and I'll show you some of that later too. One of the other things that I use Mailbox Power for is what I call a direct mailing. So what they have is a people finder program inside of this. And they allow you to go in and literally fine tune a mailing list down to credit scores, income level, number of children, how long they've lived in their home, if they're renters, if they're homeowners. It's unbelievable how you can really fine tune this mailing list. What I do is when I list a property, I do about a 1/2 mile or a 1/4 mile radius around that property. And then I narrow it down to only homeowners, people who have lived in their home at least 3 years. They are single family homeowners. You know, you can put whatever criteria you want, and you come up with a number of people a number of records that qualify for that. As you can see in this screen, the 714 records came up, and that cost me $64.12 to purchase that list. And once I purchase it, it goes into a separate group within my contacts. So I can now do a just listed card. I can do a just sold card. I can continue to farm to that neighborhood and send as many mailings out as I want. And what I recommend too is doing this around your home. and just sending out neighborhood experts, hey, I'm your neighbor, that type of stuff, and trying to do some farming that way. It's pretty inexpensive. The one thing I like about Mailbox Power is if you do they have a pro program. It's $49 a month, but you get free postcards. So you can send unlimited postcards every month and just pay postage. So if you're using this program, it's a pretty cost-effective way to do it. I will include links at the end of the presentation to both the slide deck and to the Mailbox Power program and a couple of other things as well. So I will definitely do that. I'm showing you now just some examples of mailings that I've created and sent out. Many of these are pre-formatted already, like the just listed, the thinking of selling, the realtor cards. They have a postcard maintenance tips that you can send out once a month. These are all pre-done for you. They're already in there as templates. The one on the top left there, that's one I created on Canva and uploaded into Mailbox Power. So you can do all different kinds of stuff there. I want to give you guys a couple of examples of the power of what I'm talking about here. So the top left card that you see there was a card that I created for a past client. They purchased a home for me maybe, I don't know, 6 years ago. And their names are Jennifer and Nick, and they already had 2 daughters and they had their first baby boy. And they posted on Facebook about their baby boy, and they had all kinds of pictures of the girls holding him and them holding him and him being born at the hospital. And I downloaded these pictures and I uploaded them into a card. And I created this custom card. I sent it to them. I also sent them a 2-pack of brownies that had a picture of the family on the brownies. And then I also sent them a coffee mug. So it had their monogram of their last name on the mug and like 5 pictures that I uploaded from Facebook of the baby and the girls and the family and all that stuff. And I sent it out to them as a congratulations. I get a call from Jennifer after she receives it, and she is just ecstatic. She loves it, just telling me how great this was. It was so cool. She says, but you know, Nick and I never got to taste the brownies because the girls ate them. And now they're fighting over the coffee mug on whose coffee mug it is. So I ended up sending them another coffee mug so that the girls could each have their own. And about 45 days, maybe 60 days later, I get a call from a friend of Jennifer's who says, Jennifer Murray told me that I need to call you and I have to use you as our real estate agent. My husband and I are thinking of selling a home and buying another home. They did that. I earned about a $17,000 commission check on those 2 transactions. Now, I'm not saying that maybe wouldn't a referral might not have come in anyway, but I'm telling you the impact of this kind of communication with people and making it about them can't buy better loyalty. These guys were not shopping me. They didn't ask me about commission rates. They didn't ask me about anything. It's a great way to build that referral business and to start doing things for people. The bottom left card was a past client also who had posted on Facebook that his wife Joni passed away of cancer. And so he had all these pictures of them when they got married and stuff. So I put a picture of their wedding on the front of the card and some pictures of them on the inside and sent him a condolences card. And he ends up calling me and thanking me. And we had like a half-hour conversation. It was very emotional, but it really cemented our relationship. And this stuff works, you guys. You just have to do it right. Some of the other things you can do it here too is you can send gift cards. You can send all kinds of different stuff. The coffee mug, I'm telling you, is the most cost-effective tool you will ever use. But again, you need to make it about them. I'll show you what I do after closings, and I'll give you a good idea on that. Here's some other stuff. They have these templated cards, happy home anniversary, on the anniversary when they bought their home. Thank you for the listing. Stop throwing your money away if you want to do mailers to renters, that type of stuff. So there's all different kinds of stuff here that you can do. They have gifts, they have water bottles, all kinds of stuff. And again, they're not the only one that does this. So there's other programs out there that do it. I just have found these guys to be the easiest and the most cost effective. You can do golf balls, you can do all kinds of stuff. All these cards, the thank you cards, are just formatted already. You just and by the way, this uses a program where it automatically puts their name in. So it'll say happy birthday Tony, and inside of the card it'll have my return name on it and stuff. It's all automated, so you don't have to customize each of these cards. It'll customize themselves. They do coasters. I did this little COVID kit down on the bottom right hand corner. That was a program they had already in there. And I did that during when COVID first started. I mailed out probably 60 of these throughout the 6-month period. The response I got from people was amazing. It was kind of a, brownies and a little COVID isolation kit, I called it. And I tell you that it was just amazing, the response I got on it. Other tools to accomplish your goals. Again, I talked before about soliciting feedback. I think it's very important to solicit feedback on what you're doing, and both positive and negative. So have some kind of a system set up where either they're getting an email, even a card or something that they can fill out to let you know how you did, how their experience was. And then when you get positive feedback, post it, let other people know about it. Take pictures of people at closings. One of the things that I do with my sales and my buyers is I will take a picture of their home that they purchased or sold. I will then take a picture of them at closing. And I have a program set or a campaign set up where there's a box, there's this big, that's not big, but it's a box, has a picture of their home on the top of the box. And inside of the box, they get 2 coffee mugs, 2 brownies, a greeting card, and a 4-pack of coasters. And on every one of those items are pictures of them at their closing, pictures of their house, and all that kind of stuff. I think it cost me with postage about $45 to send that out. So I send that out after every closing, and I'm telling you guys, the response I get is amazing. And then after I know they've gotten that is when I send out my final survey, and I ask them how I'm doing. And if you get negative response, and on my surveys, I really do ask people to be honest. If there's something that I can improve on, please let me know. And if they give you that feedback, make sure you're making those corrections and you're acknowledging that feedback from them. But then if they're giving you great feedback and post those pictures on Facebook and get it out there that you're doing business. Events to create community. I think these are fantastic opportunities to really connect with your past clients and prospects and friends, and just, again, letting people know you're around and you're there and you care. You can do annual or semi-annual events. You can, in the spring, there's Arbor Day and tree giveaways and stuff like that. In the summer, you can do a picnic. Now, I know with COVID, this stuff is a little bit different, but that's going to change. I think the summer picnics are phenomenal. I would partner with a local restaurant to provide hot dogs and burgers and chips. And that helps you from a cost standpoint. It gives them an opportunity to promote their business. And just have a get together with people at a park where there's things for the kids to do, invite people to bring their kids, and just make it a fun little picnic for a couple of hours during one summer Saturday or Sunday. You can do the fall, you can do pumpkin giveaways. And then in the winter, obviously, you've got holidays with trees and wreaths and poinsettias. Even with COVID, you can do these things by doing drive-bys where people come and they register ahead of time, so you know how many items you need to have, and they pull up and you hand it to them in their cars. So there are ways of doing this, but do it. I go back to this, you guys. It's all about doing this and scheduling it in your days. This stuff has to be something that you're doing on a regular basis. So in your calendar, put in from 9 a.m. to 9:30, you're doing green dot. And you're going to go in and you're going to do your social media connections. Make it a daily activity, because if you don't and you start getting busy and you get distracted when the market does shift, which I hate to tell you, it's gonna, and we're going to have those times when you're going to wish that all this stuff was in place and you were having some additional referrals over and above what you're currently getting. Referral programs are great, and I know they are restrictive. There's, depending upon what state you're in and what the laws are and all that kind of stuff, is what you can do for referrals. But even a card, whether it's a coffee shop, it's an Amazon card, a Best Buy card, whatever, or even just a greeting card saying thank you. It's huge. You really got to acknowledge people and let them know that you appreciate their referrals. And a phone call, again, I'm talking about systems here on how to connect with people through social media, cards, gifts, and all that. Let's not forget about the telephone. Pick up the phone, have a conversation with people. If you've got a really good relationship with somebody, or a past client posts that their grandpa passed away, send them a condolences card, but pick up the phone and call them up and tell them you feel bad and you're thinking about them. I'm telling you, it is powerful stuff. The other thing is KV Core or your client management program, whatever you're using for that CRM program. Use it. This stuff works fantastic on the personal side, but you still do need to do emails. You need to do follow up through your CRM programs. KV Core is a super powerful program, and there is a ton of training out there. I highly recommend that you get out and find the stuff that's working and go to the classes and learn it, because the challenge is if you get frustrated and you don't learn how to do this stuff, you're not going to use it. And it's all great when business is great and you think you don't have to worry about it, but you need to have these things in place so that you've constantly got your name out there in front of people. You can set KV Core up for behavior automation, smart campaigns, email campaigns, landing pages. When you get a listing, boost the listing. It does give you leads. I mean, again, cold lead marketing is not my forte. I know that the numbers are the numbers. You know, you're going to reach out. You're going to get a lot of people coming in. You're going to spend some money and some time, and not a lot of those convert, but some of them do. And so if that's what you're looking for and you're looking for new clients, that's a great way to do it. The thing about what I'm talking about with the cards and the gifts and all this personal relationship marketing, this is something that is longer term. This is something that you're going to do on a daily basis and on a regular basis. That's going to get you referrals and repeat business down the road. But it's not necessarily somebody who's currently in the market. So cold lead marketing is still a good tool to use for those that are actively out there looking at homes and in the market and could be converted into an actual client right now today, as opposed to building a relationship for future business and future referrals. I also like to share some of the books that I've read over the years. I'm not a huge reader, but I do read books, and I do audio books as well when I'm in the car. How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I guarantee you've heard this one many, many times before from many different trainers, but it is a fantastic book, and it really does resonate with what I'm talking about here as far as networking and doing that kind of stuff. It works, and there's some good tips in there on how to connect with people. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is another great book on business and communicating with people. The E-Myth Revisited, I can't emphasize enough how big of a deal that book is. It's kind of what I'm talking about here and how you automate your business. The E-Myth Revisited talks a lot about systems and how to automate your business and how to make it duplicatable. If you ever want to build a team, or you're currently a team leader and you want to make sure that everything you're doing is duplicatable and kind of plug and play, it's a great book, and it's a super easy read. Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity by David Allen. I just finished that book, and it is really, really good on organizing and delegating. It talks about getting into using virtual assistants, using different things, delegating things out, kind of like this Mailbox Power program where I can delegate that out and kind of automate that process, yet keeping it personal. So that is a really, really, really good book there. Audible is a great program if you're not into reading books. It works really well. The KV Core Learning Portal. And the other thing, you guys, is Workplace. EXP does an amazing job of connecting you with other agents in the industry. Workplace, I know it can get overwhelming, and I know we get a ton of emails and a ton of different things, and I belong to a bunch of groups in Workplace, so I'm getting notifications all the time. But I'll tell you, the resources there are phenomenal. You can really dive in and get to know people and ask questions. It's super important to be able to do that and share what's going on and get input from people all over literally over the world now with EXP going international. But take advantage of that. Go into those programs, find the ones that hit home for you. Your state brokers, go to those meetings, participate in them, give feedback on what you're doing. The more that you can communicate and connect with other people in our industry that are willing to share with you, the better off you're going to be, and the better off your business is going to be in the long run. There's a lot of experienced agents here that are willing to share things with you. And the thing is, if you don't take advantage of that, you're going to be doing the old, trial and error, which is a super expensive way to learn how to build your business, how to do things. I think you're better off just, taking advice from people that have already been there, done that, and can help you streamline that process. And then again, take advantage of like the KV Core support staff. Mailbox Power has an amazing support staff, and they have a bunch of videos and live trainings all the time on Facebook as well. Just a lot of different areas where you can go out and learn this stuff quickly instead of trying to figure it all out on your own. So you need to take advantage of that. One of the things I'll tell you guys is you can go to these classes and you can learn all this stuff, and you can hear, wow, that's fantastic. You can hear what somebody else is doing and say, I got to start doing that. But at the end of the day, you got to do something. So you got to get to work and you have to stay consistent. So pick 3 to 4 things that you're going to implement, and that should be your max. Find out what's comfortable for you in your business and what things work for you, and then do them and stick with them and do them on a daily basis. I can't tell you how important it is to be consistent in your marketing and consistent in building your business. You can't be an expert at everything. So find out what you're comfortable with and what you're passionate about, and work on those and stay focused on those things. Schedules tasks into your calendar every day. Like I said, 9 to 9:30 green dot game. 9:30 to 10 o'clock, you're going to do your cards. You're going to go into Mailbox Power or whatever program you're using, and you're going to mail cards out during that time. You got to focus this thing as a business and as a scheduled activity, because if you don't, you're going to get distracted. And I know in our industry, you get a call from buyers and all of a sudden your afternoon is shot because they want to go out and look at 3 homes, which you weren't planning on happening. That happens, but you still have to stick to your schedule and get those things done. So I highly recommend that a lot of this marketing stuff gets done in the morning. Don't think there's a ton of buyers out there that are looking to go look at homes in the morning. So try to get as much of this stuff in your mornings as you can, so that at the end of the day, when you do get the distractions in the afternoon, you can do those and you're still getting some of this work done. And then lastly, I'll tell you, ask for help. Again, I talked to this before, workplace collaboration, KV Core help group, Mailbox Power help group. You can Google things. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. This is not an easy business to get into. If you're a new agent, it can be overwhelming. There's costs involved in doing all this stuff, and you need to be making some money. So I know, you want to get out there and you want to get people in the door, but you got to focus on this and get your business up and running so that it becomes somewhat on autopilot, so you can spend the time out in the field doing your networking and showing your houses and taking your listings and doing what you need to do. So, again, ask for help, Google things. Don't be afraid to not know, because people are there to help you and they would love to help you guys out.